we learned about fraction, but what about operation that is involving fractional numbers? Have you learned about this before? Cita? Never? Belum. What about Renan? Have you learned about this, Ray?
Yes, in grade 3.
Primary tree. And let's go dive into it. We start with addition, right? Let's say we have 3 out of 4 plus 1 out of 3. Is there any one of you guys can solve this kind of question?
Kalau ini belum belajar.
Right. This is confusing. So we agree that this is the things that pretty much confusing, right? What about Cheetah? Have you learned about how to add these fractions? What makes this confusing? I need to know it, Braynan. Could you please tell me which part that is confusing?
How to add the fractions.
Oh, how
Kalau
to add
atas
the
tahu,
fraction.
bawah bingung.
Oh, that is interesting, right? So let's start with this. What is that equals to? 5 out of 7, right? Cheetah, did you get this concept, right? Why you get it is actually equals to 5 out of 7. Here's the representation of 3 out of 7. What is the 3 out of 7 means? That means you have how many equal parts you have?
7.
All right, 7 equal parts. Cheetah, you know, it's 7 equal parts. That's the definition of denominator. And then how many parts do we need to shade here in representing the 3 out of 7? I'll go with Cheetah. If we have 7 equal parts, right, Cheetah? And 3 out of 7 means how many parts do we need to shade here? It's 3 parts. Okay, so 3 out of 7 is 3 parts out of 7 equal parts. All right, here's the thing. And what about 2 out of 7, Renan? How do we represent the 2 out of 7? How many equal parts?
There are 7 equal parts,
That's
and 2
amazing.
of them are shaded.
Just 2 shaded, right? Love that. So let's shade it by the color green, and then just shade it 2 parts, right? Agree with that, Renan?
Yes.
All right then. What is that equals to, right? Since that is actually addition, then we exactly have the same number in the denominator. That means you just need to connect the yellow and green all together. You know what I mean? Okay, this is the yellow part, and we connect this yellow shaded part by the green shaded part here, right? So how many parts that is totally shaded here, Cheetah? Can you please determine how many parts that is totally shaded? 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So we have 5 parts out of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 equal parts. That means it's 5 out of, say, 7, right? Any questions so far? This is quite simple, you know, this is a really simple problem regarding to the addition involving 2 fractional numbers, since we have exactly the same number in the denominator, right? But it would be more complex if and only if we have the different denominators here. You know what I mean? Right, anyone? I'll go with Renan. How do you represent the 3 out of 4?
4 equal parts and then shade 3.
All right then. 1, 2, 3 parts here, Renan, right? Is it a thing? Again, Cheetah. How do you represent 1 out of 3 here? The pink shaded part. This is the number of equal parts. How many? It's 3 equal parts. Do not doubting yourself, Cheetah. You get it. All right. So let me create the 3 equal parts. Yeah, take your time, Renan. Okay, keep continue, yeah, Cheetah, yeah. And what is it? How many parts do we need to shade here, Cheetah? Regarding to the fraction 1 out of 3, right? 1 out of 3 equal parts. 1, 2, 3. This is 3 equal parts. And the number do we need to shade? Just yang harus diarsir just 1. That's perfect. Right, it is 1. I'm shading the pink color here. All right. Okay, Cheetah, you get this, right? Okay. When we adding 2 fractions, we just need to connect the shaded parts, right? Here's the yellow. All right, and then we connect the pinky color there. All right then. My question to you, is there any one of you guys know what fraction is this? That's the big problem, right? Any idea? Cheetah, any idea? What fraction is that? But I'm pretty sure that is greater than 1. Agree with that? This is 1, right? Okay, it's 4 out of 4 and equals to 1. So since the total shaded part there crossing the 1 hole, then we can simply conclude that this fraction is absolutely greater than 1. All right. So my question to you, how to state this as a fraction? Since we mentioned that it's actually greater than 1, I'm gonna put it here. This is another whole, you guys. Cheetah and Renan. Take a look at this. This is the first whole, right? The first whole, and this is the second whole, right? How to determine the numerator and its denominator? I'm gonna show you. Take a look at this. We actually finished with the 4 equal parts, okay? And then let's divide everything by 3. Why? Because we also have the 3 equal parts here, guys. Okay, Cheetah and Renan, take a look at this. 3 equal parts, all right? Get it? We need to do this because we want to find how is it exactly the fraction. Okay, like every single parts divided into 3 parts. Take a look at this, guys. That is not enough. We still have to do it to this part, right? Anyone, please tell me how's it the fractions that is represented by the shaded part? So what's the final answer here? Either Renan or Cheetah. What is the definition of numerator? Numerator is, or the part that we
That
are
we
counting, right? Okay, that's the definition of numerator. Remember, numerator is the parts that we are counting. So how many parts do we need to count here? It is actually belongs to the numerator. All right. Or you can mention that numerator is the number of the shaded parts. Okay. Shaded parts, right? Numerator is the parts that we are counting, but denominator is total, the total equal parts within one whole, right? Regarding to this definition of numerator and denominator, what is the numerator of this fractional number? Anyone? I'm gonna put it a bit higher. How many parts that we are shaded here, Raynan? Could you please help Cheetah?
13.
Is that 13? 1, 2, 3, 4, 11, 12, and 13. I love that. That is the definition of numerator, the parts that we are counting. So that is actually equals to 13. What about the denominator there? What is the new denominator here?
The total equal parts within
Within,
one whole.
within one whole. So every one whole consists of how many equal parts then, Braynan?
12.
Only 12? 1, 2, 3, 10. 1, 2. Right, it's 12. One whole equals to 12 equal parts, all right? That is the thing. So that means it's supposed to be 12 as the new denominator here. So what is the fractions here? 13 out of 12,
12.
right? Or you can simply mention this one whole, every part there is shaded. Agree with that? So you have one whole.
One whole.
All right, you have one whole, and if you look at the other whole there, there's only one part shaded. All right, there's only one part shaded there out of 12 equal parts. So you can make it like 1 out of 12. Okay, what kind of fraction is that? If and only if you have its numerator greater than its denominator. What kind of fraction is that? This is improper
Fraction.
fraction, right? Improper fraction. But once you have numerator is less than its denominator, just like this, 5 is less than 7, right? 5 is less than 7, no doubt about it. So what is it the name? Proper
Proper fraction.
fractions, right? Oke, bahasa Indonesianya proper fraction itu adalah pecahan wajar. Kalau improper, pecahan tidak wajar. If and only if you still remember. Probably your teacher teach you about this. Pecahan wajar, pecahan tidak wajar. But in this case, we call it as a proper and improper fraction. Any questions so far? So instead of, representing every single fractions by drawing this kind of model of representation, I love to make a big conclusion. Is there anyone knows how's it the way in finding 12 as a denominator here?
4-nya dikali 3 gitu.
4-nya dikali 3. That is interesting. 4 times 3. What is that equals to? 3 out of 4 plus 1 out of 3. So it is out of 12 plus out of 12. What is it? The new numerator here. For the yellow shaded, take a look at this. All right, how's it the new numerator here?
9.
9, that's perfect. This is 9 out of 12. What about the pink color there, Cheetah? If we want to transform the 1 out of 3 into out of 12, so what is it, the new numerator of the pink shaded here?
4.
4, right. This is 4 out of 12. Okay. So this is absolutely related to the equivalent fraction, if and only if you still remember that. Since Raynon mentioned, okay, in order to get the denominator, we just need to times every single denominator there, 3 times 4, right? That means the yellow fractions times it by 3. If you times the denominator by 3, then you have to do exactly the same thing for the numerator. So this is times 3. 3 times 3 is, what number is that?
9.
9. That's how do we theta get 9 as a new numerator, right? Again, what about this one? Right, 1 out of 3. In order to get 12 from 3, I mean, so we need to times it by what number, theta? 3 times what number equals to 12?
4.
4. Since you times this by 4, oh, no, 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 it's not that. This part, it's times that by 4, then you need to times its numerator exactly by the same number. It's 4. What is it? 1 times 4? It is
4.
4. Then, after you get those two fractions exactly with the same denominators, then you just need to add it, right? Okay, what is 9 plus 4 equals to?
13.
13. 13 out of 12. That's how the way you get this improper fraction. But remember, once you have improper fractions, you need to transform it into, how do you call this number? Mixed fraction or mixed number, right? Why? Why we name it as a mixed number? Since you mix two kind of number there, right? You have the whole number and fractional number. Okay? Since you mix the fraction and the whole number all together, then yeah, we call it as a mixed number. All right? I'm really expecting that you guys really get this concept. This is quite important, right? So many primary 4 students struggling with the fraction, right? I want you guys are 5, right? Any questions so far?